Hello everyone, welcome back to the ESL Meisterschaft Spring 2015 Spring Season. This is a League of Legends tournament. You are staring at me very hard, and that's, of course, you are Alex Machine Richardson, and I'm Jason Kaplan, and we'll be kicking off game number 2 between Mousesports and PKD in just a few seconds. Picks and bans have started, and just to reiterate for you guys at home, we are just tailbacking.
Piggybacking is probably the word you're looking for.
Word?
Piggybacking.
That's the word. Piggybacking off the German stream. So they're doing contests and stuff over there because they're live in Duisburg, and we're just the stream to give you the English version of the cast, not really to what they're doing in game. We will have PKD over on the blue side, Mousesports over on the red side, and we can get a little bit of game sounds in for you so you can hear that lovely music at the. There we go. But PKD, as the graphic will be changed in just a few seconds, will be over on the blue side, banning out Rumble, Maokai, Kassadin. On the side of Mousesports, banning out Kog'Maw, Ziggs, and Azir. And we did see Kog'Maw ban in the last game, as well as a Vladimir. So definitely trying to do some focus bans, but this time just even it out a little bit. Don't want to go up against the Ziggs, and we saw Zio on Azir, who just did a fantastic job on him.
Oh, incredible.
But we have seen Azir played by PKD, so that's why they're banning away from Snow. But the first pick to be coming in for Flaxfish will be Janna, and that's understandable considering Mountain has played nothing but Janna in the groups and so far today.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets it, he really does excel. So just taking that away from him instantly is probably the smartest move PKD can make, especially if they don't have any priority picks themselves, or gives them a little bit of extra time to just mull it over. Of course, they have had plenty of time, about 10 minutes or so. Thinking that one over still. 29 seconds before we do see the lock-in for these two. I wouldn't be surprised if we do actually see both of these go forward. We've seen Obvious on Gragas before, and Zio, we've seen him on both Diana and Vlad previously. So it's going to be interesting to see if that does get locked in. I mean, we've seen Vlad already in the game prior, which was the Sharks versus Euronics game. So we have already seen how effective Vlad can be. And so with the Obvious pick, you're going to be seeing Gragas confirmed for the jungle role, and we are going to be seeing Vlad in the mid lane. So two kind of priority picks there for Mouse secured, and we'll see how effective they can be on that. The fact that they banned it away Azir themselves confuses me. Maybe they know Snow wanted to take it. I mean, we saw them kind of prioritize the pick beforehand. We saw them take it away from Snow in the first game.
Well, as I was saying, he played it actually in the groups.
Snow did, yeah.
Yeah, so they want to keep it away from him since he's proven that he's been able to play that champion. But he played it in the game they lost, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so they're just kind of like, all right, we don't want you on Azir. We know Zao can work it. We know what he can do, especially with the Janna combo. So forget it. Not let you have it.
And two more picks going to be coming in shortly. The bans, though, we haven't quite addressed them. Rumble, Maokai, and Kassadin taken away from PK, or by PKD, excuse me, and Mouse opted to take away Kog'Maw, Ziggs, and Azir. We've already addressed the Azir ban, but the Kog'Maw and Ziggs kind of targeting two of those solo carry lanes, or not solo carry, but carry lanes. Taking, I mean, you have seen AP Kog'Maw being quite kind of flavour of the month recently, so either way, bans have come in, as have two more picks, Nunu and Jinx confirmed for PKD.
New jungle.
It's a heavy contrast from Sedge.
Well, I'm just trying to think what he's going to do. Because when you see new jungle, you're thinking early pushing power. So I'm expecting maybe an AD carry to be played middle out of PKD. Like Ezreal maybe is a decent possibility. But Nunu just kind of roams around the jungle, counter jungles a little bit, and then he shows up in a lane with an AD carry, blood boils, and they look to shove down a turret. So actually a lane swap could be coming in. We could see Sunny and Eloper go top lane in a 2-on-1, and then push that tower down very quickly, then go back towards that bottom lane. And I think Mousesports already have that kind of in their mind of how to work around that and how to be prepared.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Severe going to be secured as well for Cedrian, kind of taken aback maybe by that Jinx pickup. We're going to be seeing Sunny on that, so we're going to see once again an AD carry trade, as we did previously see Sunny on Severe. And I feel like this is a bit commonplace in this tournament, or a tournament like this, because it does get into the head of your opponent. If you pick their pick against them, yes, of course it is kind of like a minor ban, but it's also a statement like, okay, let me show you what I can do with Jinx. But I'd be impressed if Sunny can kind of match up to Cedrian's capacity, considering just how well he performed not too long ago on that very cat champ.
And looks like Fizz will be played in the top lane again by Flaxish, huh?
Really?
I wasn't 100% convinced by it, but we'll see how it works this time. Cassiopeia being picked up, which
no surprises.
We've seen.
Yeah, no surprises.
Actually played. Where was it played?
In this tanky meta.
Oh, it was played by sorry, Euronix. That's what I was thinking.
In this tanky meta, it's gonna be. I mean, you kind of got your Ziggs, you have your Cassiopeia, you even have stuff like Zed, who's very popular. And surprised we haven't seen that considering the lack of bans. But overall, yeah, Cassiopeia is a pretty strong pickup, and I'll be interested to see how well Snow can do that with the mid lane. High contrast from the Lulu we saw in Game 1.
Hecarim might be picked up. Actually, they did get rid of the Fizz is on, yes, on PKD's side. Hecarim, we might be seeing the top lane, which we haven't seen Binsu run just yet. But it is a possibility. Hecarim, though, was nerfed. His regen in lane and health per level, I think, was downscaled from like 8.7 to like 5 point something, like 5.6. So he's lost a lot of health when it comes to that late game. But we'll see how much of a power he can be in that top lane against Fizz. And I wonder if they could be more prepared when it comes to the invade out of Flaxish. Are they going to ward it? I feel like you can run that once, but you can't run that 2 games running and expect the team to just ignore it and not be prepared for it.
No, you're right. And the composition is going to be... I think it feels a lot better this round for PKD. The only questionable thing for me is Flax on Fizz in the top lane. He's doing exactly the same thing again. And at the start of this, I was kind of so convinced. I was like, wow, Flax is doing that. That's exciting. He got the first early buff steal. I was like, this is a surprise, but it's a strong pick. And then, you know, he kind of fell off a bit. And I'm kind of maybe hoping that he's going to be able to demonstrate the true power he believes that it possesses, as we are going to be going away from Champ Select. We load on into the Rift. Both teams going to be battling to get themselves into the grand final. That's going to be played straight after this one. Waiting in the wings, though, is Euronix Gaming, who are going to be probably keeping a keen eye on Mousesports and see if they can pick this up in 2.
We saw Vladimir actually ran in the last series. Yeah, we did. Sorry, I was looking at my picks. I'm like, where is it? It was run the last series by Evil Sharks, but it ran...
Excuse me.
Wow. It ran Ignite and Ghost. This time we're going to see Zhao actually running Flash and Ghost. So he's looking for more of a safe kind of play, more of an in and out kind of thing. And we'll see how it's going to work out in lane as we do drop into game onto the Rift. And we're going to find out who's going to be able to pick up the victory. See if we can have Plant can always take it to mount number 3, or if Mousesports can take it to the Grand Finals.
Yeah, they are just around the corner. And the pressure is mounting now for PKD. Let's, though, introduce the rosters for you guys at home. If on the left-hand side of your screens, PKD, Flaxis in the top lane rocking a Smite and Fizz. We're going to see how that one works out. Dose in the jungle this time, putting Sejuani to the side for Nunu. In the mid line, Snow. In the mid line, we're going to be seeing Snow on Cassiopeia. And in the bot lane, Sunny and Lopa on Jinx and Janna, respectively.
And for Mousesports, we got Binsu on Hecarim in the top lane, Obvious on Gragas in the jungle, Zio on Vladimir in the mid lane, Cedrian on Severe, and Mountain on Nautilus in the bottom lane. I want to say this Nautilus, or not the Nautilus, the Nunu works. I don't know, I've never been a big fan of Nunu since like Season 2. Counter jungling can work out pretty well, but like when it comes to protection, like you have an attack speed slow, which is nice, and a movement slow, which you can put on Zio, Cedrian, or Binsu. But you don't offer much protection beside that, except your ultimate to kind of zone. And the only protection Sunny really has is that Cassiopeia ultimate and the Janna for protection.
Which is a lot of protection from Eulopa, let's be honest.
It's a lot, but I don't. It's just you don't have a beefy front line. And you look at the side of Mouse, you're going to have a beefy Hecarim, Gragas, and Nautilus. So it's like...
Well, and Zaya, who keeps healing himself, you're right. That's a very scary Mousesports.
I just don't know if I fully agree with that lineup that they're going for.
This is, of course, that kind of... It's been kind of dubbed the tanky meta, and Mousesports can demonstrate exactly why that is with their lineup. We are going to be seeing a bit of something different from PKD, insisting on that kind of second jungler with Fizz. And we'll see how that one works out. When you have a counter-jungling jungler like Nunu and then you take a second Smite, that's, again, a statement that you could be spending an awful lot of time in the jungle of Binsu. Excuse me, Obvious, as Binsu did start at the Wolf Cup. Going to clear that and then head on back to top lane. No surprises there just yet as the early exchanges are going down. We're going to be seeing this no lane swap this time, just Cedrian and Sunny going to be going head-to-head. In the early part of this game, and the early level 2 is picked up by Cedrian. They're going straight on in onto Eulopa. They want to take a big chunk of damage out, and they do just that. And
See, I don't like.
that's how you get early dominance.
I don't like the Lulu or the Nunu and the Fizz combo because it's like you need a top laner who can 1v2, and you need to send your AD carry support into a 2v1 lane so you can push the turret down. Like that's what Nunu helps do in the early game. Fizz can't 1v2. I don't agree with this lineup that they're running. It just doesn't really make much sense if they're trying to go for that kind of standard push turrets down play.
It does feel like there are elements of solo queue in their playstyle. I mean, that sounds like a jab, but I mean, so it kind of like everyone's picking what they know they're good at, not necessarily what will work well as a team. I could be completely wrong, and I'm sure I could be proved wrong if I spoke to PKD afterwards, and they'll tell me all the intricacies of why they chose to really stick with this Fizz top. But for now, we will most definitely
You'd honestly
speculate.
be surprised during LCS and ask players like, "Why did you guys go for this pick?" And they're like, "We don't know."
We don't know. We just fancied
There was
it.
one time in particular I could think of EG. Oh, Zion's dead. Ooh. I can think of EG in particular where they picked like a Rumble top lane, and I asked him after like, why'd you guys pick Rumble? Like Wicked's not good on Rumble, and they're like, well, he wanted Rumble and we ran out of time, so we just picked Rumble. Actually, no, we ran out of time, so we just picked Rumble. So doesn't really make much sense. But that's first blood coming over to Snow in the mid lane, able to get onto Zio. Previously, it was Zio able to get the kill onto Snow when he was on Azir. Looks like this blue buff will be kept away from Dose, who doesn't have a ward over the wall, so...
It's completely reset, though.
Yes, he has. He's delayed. Hecarim going middle, looking for Snow. Not getting knocked back in the right direction. Doesn't have flash to escape either, so a lot of damage can be done to him.
Well, I mean, what's Dose going to do anyway? Just get that red buff slow as well as that snowball, as Zio does make an appearance back in the mid lane. He's going to be trying to play catch-up now, as he's got a bit of a CS mountain to climb. I'm sure he'll get there, though, by the time Cass does get back to lane. He was 12, now to 23. No real problems in the top lane, though, for Flax so far. Beansus has done some roaming, though, and that's enabled him to catch on up, but Flaxish still hanging out, insisting on this Smite TP Fizz.
He just missed, like, two pretty decently easy CS. Guess nerves kind of getting to him. Remember, they were playing in Duisburg. They were playing on a stage live. You can check that out, I think, at twitch.tv/ESL_summonersin.
Double N.
And you can see, you know, where they're playing, the stage, and the likes. So maybe nerves getting to him. But he needs to kind of ignore those. He needs to get over that. Because they can't afford to lose another game, and Snow's already able to get them on the board with one kill.
I mean, Cassiopeia can really be a force to be reckoned with when a couple of early kills do get picked up, start roaming around, especially when you get that 6 and you can basically just do this scary flash ult, which can catch a lot of players out, even at the highest level, if executed correctly. Just opting to smite away minions, I guess, when it makes sense. You're not going to be using that cooldown any other time soon. I do like this Hecarim top pick. Beansu has been always been quite a fan of picking, not necessarily out of the normal top champion pool, but this has been very popular as of late, so no surprises there. In the meantime, though, in the bot lane, Sunny and Alopa trying to do something to turn around this fight, as Sunny, his health got whittled away there by Mountain, who's kind of having to play against his favourite champion there. Having Janna taken away from him, he opts for quite a contrasting champion as he goes for Nautilus. Actually, the second Nautilus we have seen today is Beansuit just tickling Flaxis back and forcing him away from these minions.
Well, that hitting level 6, so Beansu has his escape mechanism, which is always good, especially he didn't have very much to begin with. He did have his E to speed up, but either way, Zion not hitting level 6. Still a little bit behind in CS, but as he hits that level 9 where he starts to really hit his power, hit his stride with his max strength Q, that's when he becomes almost an immovable object, especially with the Hextech Revolver done. Snow would have to almost all in him. I think Knight down currently, that wouldn't really be able to happen.
No, you're right. I was just thinking that when you saw him poisoning Zio, and Zio just walked onto the poison to get CS. I mean, Vlad kind of counters some of Cassiopeia's kit, because it's all about, you know, poking them down with kind of ticking poisons, and then Zio just self-heals it all back up. The all-in is still a threat, though, and so he's going to have to keep his eyes out for that one. There's Jason dying from a coughing fit off mic. Zio is going to be quite happily just farming away. You said it before that he's going to become an immovable object. It's a nice summary of how Vlad becomes with that Hex Tech, and we'll see as once again the battlefield falls quiet. 8 minutes into this one, of course, if you have just joined us, the winner of this one will secure a spot in the Grand Finals up against Euronics Gaming, the ESL Meisterschaft Spring season.
And Mousesports already up 1-0, so more likely to get there. Euronics just been sitting there waiting, just watching all these games. Just like, all right, well, we know what to ban against them, we know what to do, but again, Euronics had troubles closing out games. Mousesports, they seem to not really have that problem in the last one. Like, yeah, they had a couple of mess-ups, yes, but they eventually got to that point where they could just push in towards turrets. Like, they knew when to push turrets and when to go for dragons. And I'm a little bit worried for Euronics, but Mousesports have a strong team known as an faculty previously. If you recognize any of the players from the LCS qualifiers last season. Fortunately for them, didn't really qualify. Actually, a lot of people thought they would be able to. They were looking really good. And Minsu getting fought top side, getting very low. Actually doesn't have ultimate to get away, but he does have his E, but it's not going to be enough. He knocks him back away from the turret. Vaxis will pick up the 1v1.
That's big. That's really big. And he's going for exactly the same build path again. He's insisting on this Cinder Hulk Fizz. Oh, it's just, it doesn't necessarily all piece together for me, but for him it's certainly working a treat as he does best. The Hecarim top in the hands of Beansu. No easy feat whatsoever as he's going to be picking that one up, and Obvious just going to have to pick up the slack in the top lane. As elsewhere, Dose quite quiet so far, but I mean, what else do you expect from a Nunu jungle? Just walking around doing what Nunu does best.
That's Beansu extra 11. Okay, he's going for his Q. I'm curious what he goes for second. Is it going to be his W or his E? Is W for extra healing in lane, or his E for more escape mechanism? But in the meantime, Dragon being started for PKD. They have a Nunus, and they have their AD carry support there, so it should be a fairly easy Dragon. We'll have Mountain coming out to the side to maybe spot this being done, but not much they can do about it. Zio, not going to commit for it, and they will give up Dragon number 1 to PKD at that 9-minute and 21-second mark. So expect to see that up about 14-20. And with the pace, the way the game's been kind of been going, if it's not a 1v1, then we're not really seeing much action. And even those 1v1s are kind of spaced, or sporadic and spaced apart.
That's how it needs to be done, Snow. Just kind of constant abuse onto Zio. Stop the healing up, or at least kind of negate it to some extent. As now, with 1 Dragon under their belt, PKD, 2 kills, 1 Dragon, are going to be hungry for a turret. Which turret's going to be the target? I couldn't tell you. I think mid turret's probably going to be the most available if Snow gets some support.
No, I think we're going for any turrets for a little bit. Like they have to have a gank happen for that.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Nunu's not going to provide much. Like Nunu can't gank any of these lanes, ideally.
There's too many escapes on the bot lane, that's for sure.
Well, Spell Shield is slow, so you're gone. Anchor can pull away. You got mid lane, you can pull the Snowball, the Ice Blast. Snow Blast, whatever it's called. And you have Hecarim who can ult away. So like there's no real lane you can gank, so you just have to keep farming up. Maybe provide a gank every once in a while if the enemies do use their cooldowns the wrong way. But he's got to be looking for more objectives. Like that has to be the play.
Yeah, well, look at it. Dose wants a gank, and I don't think he's going to be able to do anything here. Maybe he's just going to kind of maybe try and proxy farm a little bit.
It's going to be hard to dive him. He has Ignite and he has Ultimate up.
Obviously, it's there as well, though. Maybe this is a counter gank. Dose, what are you doing? He's caught him out. This is going to be a bit of an awkward one.
He feared into him.
He feared him out, and now Flax is just going low, but not low enough as the ultimate's there just to seal the deal. Here comes Obvious, though, in response, and it's a fantastic ultimate. That should be 1 dead Nunu, 1 auto attack. Make it 2. No, the slow's there. He's got away. I don't quite believe it. And here comes Cassiopeia to back him up, and Dose has done a fantastic job. Has the entirety of PKD. As you blink and you miss it, 3 kills coming in. Sorry, 2, as I struggle to do some additional maths. And we're going to be seeing 4-0 on the scoreboard now. 1 Dragon under their belt as well, and 1,000 gold now in favor of PKD.
Yeah, Beansu just didn't see Dose coming from behind. That was just a major mistake. He should have ulted away. He would have been able to escape all of that and would have been completely fine. Would have had his teammate there to back him up too. So, misplays does net PKD 2 more kills. Let's take them up, like I said, 4-0 in that 1,000 gold lead. And Dragon coming up in about less than 3 minutes time. The bottom lane for him though, Sedge and Mountain. Up ahead in CS just a little bit. Still farming up pretty well. Keeping the aggression on top of this. But they have to worry about their top lane. I mean, 0 and 2 in Hecarim, that's not ideal. And I feel like just Mouse are getting a little bit, I don't want to say lazy, but they should have been able to see Dose coming in. Like, I guess the ultimate went off like, what, 2 seconds after Dose was spotted, but that should have been an escape use of his ultimate, not just charging straight in, and that might just cost him the lane. Like, you can see him now, he's struggling to go head-to-head against Flax.
Yeah, he's not having an easy time, that's for certain. But they've kind of swept it out. Mountain and Cedric. It's not like they're a surprise, but they want to try and catch Eloper out. The ultimate is quick, and it is fierce to keep himself in the game when he's going to be able to get away with that one. No mana, no health, though, and I would expect him to either get back to base or expect a kind of supportive gank. as Beansu and Flax is just going back and forth, and Beansu's falling further and further behind. 10-8 now is the levels, so he doesn't manage to catch up. But Beansu, here comes another one.
Yeah, he's not going to escape that. He's just dead. There's not much more to say than that. He doesn't have his ultimate up to run away, doesn't have flash, doesn't have ghost, doesn't have anything. So Dose taking advantage of all that, of knowing that was a free kill. And now you have Beansu at 0-3. 2-0-2 for Flaxish. Definitely on a roll. You can see that was expected too out of Beansu. Like, he was sitting back behind his turret when there was just minions tanking it up, and they could have got some gold and some experience. So he knew he was dead. Like, he knew if they ever shut up, he would be in trouble. But Hecarim coming, not Hecarim. Sorry, that's Fox just coming down bottom. He's looking for the fight. Wow, he's going straight in head-to-head against Mountain. And Such able to turn the damage back into him. And here comes Hecarim as well. The assuming a drop that connects onto Obvious. But that teleport of Beansu not connecting onto anything. And now Dose is getting a free red buff.
That was all down to Elopa. Elopa just using his Howling Gale absolutely perfectly to interrupt that charge from Hecarim. Keeping Flaxish safe and at the turret. And all of that comes to nothing. A couple of wasted cooldowns, though, for the Mousesports side. It's Beansu using his TP, as well as we're going to be seeing the aggressive ultimate coming out. Oh no, he didn't actually get his ultimate off. I thought we were going to see Beansu using his ult. He didn't in the end.
So you've seen Zio actually level up his E second instead of his W. So he's not going for pool, he's going for his E.
That's the more standard level path, is it not?
I believe, yeah, it should be. I mean, we saw in the game earlier with ESG that they went leveling W, which was just weird. I mean, it did make him really hard to gank, but it didn't really make it so you could wave clear as quickly. And Cassiopeia is definitely one of those champions that can wave clear extremely fast, especially with that tier built up and that Rod of Ages almost done.
Yeah, interesting build path from Cassiopeia. You have that unusually large rod. Looks like he's probably going to just go straight for the Rabadon's Death Cap, actually, off the back of this one with the blasting one needlessly large rod. I wouldn't be surprised if she goes straight up AP. Fizz is a build I want to draw attention to as he's going straight Glacial Shroud after his Cinder Hulk. Straight up tankiness with Fizz, which I mean, it intrigues me, and Beansu could potentially be in trouble again. Oh, look at that damage. He doesn't need AP where he's going. The red buff's ticking away, or whatever that is, that's burning Beansu's toes. Now, though, Flax is just going for a gank, and this doesn't feel smart. He's just going to go for the dive. He's going to be very, very low, very vulnerable. Oh, my lord, the minion's auto attack could potentially end his life. He must have no health whatsoever, but he gets away with it, and that was another risk taken by Flaxish. The pick itself felt like a risk, but he's going for more and more, and he's trying to push Beansu into the dirt.
Oh, he's 3-0-2. He's got full control of that lane. I'm not sure why Beansu is building the way he is, / didn't take an escape mechanism. Like, no flash, no ghost. Like, he was trying to challenge, I guess, the early ganks that Dose gave him control. That's why he's having such a hard time. But you have to wonder, like, I guess if Dose didn't gank that lane earlier on, would Flaxish have this much of a lead? And I would think he wouldn't. But now Beansu's got to just kind of live with it and find a way around it. Just hold on.
Just hold on. We're going home. PKD going to be trying to do their best to take this to a third. As we said, they're going to fight for objectives, and 6 minutes later, they are going to try and take one. Looking for that mid turret now as PKD starting to whittle away at the Mousesports side. It's going to be their third turret now on the board. 0. Still the resounding number for them is the Mousesports side, and that's not going to be ideal for them.
Uh-oh.
Dose is doing it again. He's just
Sedrin should be fine.
I mean, he's got his ult.
He's got Spell Shield, and he didn't Spell Shield it. That almost just killed him.
Whew. Gonna force the flash as well. Sedrin getting away from this one, but looks like Dose may not be so lucky. Forced to flash himself. Sunny realizing he's now in trouble as the Mountain is relentlessly but going to be hitting him with his huge anchor. Sunny is going to get away from this one for now. Doesn't make a Death Rocket is on cooldown, otherwise I think there'd be a lot more concerned, Sedrian, as he's backing away, still hanging out in lane. And elsewhere on the map, we are seeing Zio and Snow go head to head, and there's a bit of a support there from Elopa. Not enough to heal him, though, but enough to knock him back and keep his mid laner breathing for now, but just on a scrap of health. 26.6 to 22.9, make it 23 now in terms of gold lead. 3,500 gold in favour of the PKD side. The underdogs in this matchup, there's no denying. And I mean, Mousesports, they're looking a little weak at the knees at this point.
Look at that. Fox is just coming in from behind. He's looking for another gank. He's looking to take the lead that he built up top and extend it in towards middle. to punish the other side and get his mid laner going, even though he's already 2-0. He will be spotted out, so he will be forced back. But Archangel Staff almost stacked up. It's getting there. How much stack does Cassiopeia have currently? 230. So about to hit that 250 mark. Things are getting dangerous. The snowball's starting to build up. No pun intended for Nunu. You got Flaxish building some ability power, or potentially building some ability power soon. With an Abyssal, I would want to say. And he's going for a Frozen, or actually Iceberg. I wanted to say Iceberg Gauntlets, but it looks like Frozen Heart.
It's an odd build path, I have to say. I mean, he's got the Magic Pen now from his Sork Boots, and that's going to be his kind of primary source of damage for a while, it seems. Elsewhere, though, Cassiopeia has continued to build, and I've been proved wrong, going straight for the Archangel Staff with that Blasting Wand. Not opting to go the Rabdon's route, and so we're going to be seeing a bit of AP. Maybe going to be going into that Zhonya's. Now you can see the Seekers has been picked up as well, so about 500 gold away from a Zhonya's Hourglass for Snow, keeping himself safe and sound. And it makes sense, especially with the kind of scary engages from Beansu and Obvious, and even Mountain. There's a whole lot of kind of hard, tanky engage on the side of Mousesports, so that's going to keep him safe or safer with that pickup. Bit of armor never hurt anyone either. As Dose is doing what Nunu does best, just trying to force that red buff around the corner. Not going to happen though, as there's plenty of backup there. And I mean, it feels to me that Flaxish has got that lead and is kind of so very desperate to kind of snowball that to other lanes.
That's what we've been noticing. And Glorious, Obvious will be able to pick up the red buff. And we'll be able to retreat back. I mean, it's kind of a slow-paced game. You have to wonder, can PKD close out games like we saw Mousesports be able to do? And that's one thing that's been struggling, or a lot of teams have been struggling in the German scene, not to mention just overall in the... Well, even LCS teams struggle to close out games a lot of the times, especially in Europe. I wonder if they've been able to work around that, if they've been able to fix that somewhat. But they're starting to push their advantage down middle. Down about half HP. Sunny gets pulled back into the turret, takes a lot of damage. That should be a dead Sunny. He doesn't have Summoner Heal either, but the Vulnerable Ultimate not really doing too much damage to him. And that will be Zao pick up the first kill. Cassiopeia Ultimate misses. The Super Mega Death Rocket will not. And we'll pick up the kill. But they have to be careful. Flaxish is behind him. And he's cleared out the ward coverage. Mouse, are they looking for the chase?
I feel like that would be a mistake when you have a Cassiopeia, or Cassiopeia, excuse me, Cassiopeia. Either or. Either way.
Did you say Cassie or Pia?
No, I said Cassiopeia or Cassiopeia.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one's correct.
Cassiopeia. Like Shaco is...
Shaco.
Is Shaco.
He's not Shaco.
No, he doesn't sound like Taco.
Taco Shaco?
I actually asked the guy who created it. Or created Shaco, or Shaco, and it's actually Shaco.
Because you said Shaco for a long time, didn't you?
No, I said it because of Joe.
Oh, is that what he called it?
Because it's Shaco, yeah.
Ah.
That's Shaco.
Shaco Taco. Either way, naming champions aside, 6-2 is the scoreline at that 20-minute mark, and we are seeing PKD battling as valiantly as they can to stay in this final, or semi-final, I should say. 2 dragons to 0, as the dragon is going to be spawning in just 40 seconds time, and PKD, if they pick up that third one, that's going to give them that movement speed as well, and I mean, it's a big one because it kind of takes it away from Mousesports. They haven't got that 6% AD and AP, and when you start reaching that 20-minute mark, it starts to make a difference. So it's going to be quite an important battle. And
I think the movement speed is more viable for PKD versus the AD because of the Nunu speed with Blood Boil, and then you have Janna's speed up as well. Like, if Mousesports could have a 3-stack, that'd be amazing because you have Cedrin, which just synergizes so well with that. But Janna and Nunu give them so much more mobility with extra movement speed that they might be able to catch a little bit easier on Mousesports. I mean, you look at Mouse, they don't have a great disengage. They have Mountain and an Ultimate Obvious, but you don't want to use Obvious's Ultimate as a defensive mechanism. You want to use it as an offensive thing. But Dragon's being started off, and Cassiopeia there, you're not going to stop it.
Yeah.
Way too quick.
But they want to go for the refight afterwards, and it's going to be obvious to try and start things. There is Snow Zhonya's. He needed that. Europa is going to be smashed by Mountain's ultimate, but Cedric in the backline is going to be eliminated by the Snake Lady. Here comes the shutdown, though. It's back and forth, to and fro. Two kills for 2 at the moment as Zyrus is so incredibly low, but he's got the healing. Flaxish is going to pick it up, though, but he's on the run, and as is Sunny. They're so incredibly low, and Beansu and Mountain have the health bars to deal with this. At some point, though, in some capacity, Flaxish could be in trouble. Here comes Dozo to back him up. Beansu does fall as Flaxish is just a little too far far ahead. This tanky Fizz is managing to run circles quite literally around the team. It's an ace as Flax just picks up another one, and he's going to be so very happy. 5-0 so far on this champion with a Frozen Heart and Cinder Hulk.
Cedrian, poor guy, he kind of failed that fight. He didn't spell shield the ultimate Cassiopeia. He got completely caught with it and was killed before he could do a single thing except ult. And you can't have that when you're severe and you have that free escape mechanism from a Cassie ulti. Either way, they had to pay the price. They did get quite a few kills. They finally fought, which was the nice thing, instead of just kind of sitting back and letting Dragons go for free. But they still lost all 5 men, and the lead just continues to grow for PKD.
And this is a kind of a worrying time for Mousesports. They wanted to take this in 2, but the further PKD succeed in these team fights, the further it looks like we may be seeing a 3rd map in the semi-final. A real test for both of these teams. As that 23rd minute is reached, CS starting to play a part in that gold lead as well, especially when you see 30 CS and the extra 3 kills on the side of Flaxish in that top lane. So, I mean, he's been doing good work. I still don't know necessarily how effective the smite has been. I don't...
It's good.
I mean, yeah, he's got the Cinder Hulk as well, so which helps him.
Well, no, it synergizes because of the Skirmisher Saber. It synergizes with his ultimate really well. The extra % true damage you do. Yep. Basic attack still true damage over 3 seconds.
Damage to you is reduced, so it's kind of like a mini exhaust as well.
And with his ultimate, which gets, what, 25% increased damage? Was it 20 or 20%?
20.
Yep, so that's a lot of extra damage that you're going to be doing, especially with your auto attacks. That's what's making him so strong, that little synergy between those 2 items, or that item in his kit. But 11-5, I mean, the game's not over just yet. It is a gold lead, yes, it is a lead nonetheless for PKD, but it's not ginormous, it's not huge, it's not something you can't overcome. And Mousesports being an experienced team like they are, I don't feel like they're out just yet. I think if they throw another ace and they don't pick up that many kills, then they might just give up on the game and get down on themselves, but I don't think they're out just yet. It's still going to be a tough game.
Yeah, certainly going to be a tough one. PKD, if they play it right, they can control the pacing of it. They are grouping around mid, they want to try and make something happen on that 2nd tier turret. As Dose is going to be the front line, ready. Sunny just to put out some damage with the rockets, trying to do his best he can to take that turret down. But I mean, we saw how much damage he could put out to Beansu in such a short space of time. And with Beansu's build, he's got absolutely nothing to deal with the damage from the AD carry. He's got his Spectre's Cowl for the magic, but Triforce isn't going to keep you safe from a angry Jinx. As here comes the fight, and it's going to be a big one.
Oh, Snow gets caught out at Zonas again right away. Cedric spell shield this correctly, turns away so he doesn't die and he doesn't get hit at all. And he's going to flash in. He's still alive. He's going to do so much damage, but now he's all by himself because the teammates have fallen 1 by 1. And Zio is still alive. He could do a hefty amount if he just goes back in, but he doesn't want to die.
Oh! And
the quadra kill comes in. Sunny sped back up. And I feel like Zio just kind of left that fight a little bit too early.
He went from auto-attacking Zio just to a quick zap as soon as it came off cooldown to finish the Nautilus on the back line. Really nice play there from Sunny, and he was hungry for the the Penta. Zio just a little too much survivability on his side, and he gets away with his life.
Huh. Really curious why he left the fight so early, because it forced Cedric to take the brunt of the damage. But they got completely rid of Snow, but then Sunny was doing a lot of work, and Flax still was hurting quite a bit. It's like, yeah, they took out one of the big threats, but they still had 2 more to deal with, and they lost the fight yet again. But it was a 4-for-2 trade. It wasn't that bad in the end. Beansu, I mean, you see the combo they have. It's like a Beans ultimate into a Gragas ultimate into like a Nautilus ultimate. Like, they do a hefty amount of damage. They almost burst Snow down completely, and he has to pop everything just to stay alive. If they could just kill him before the Zonias goes off, or maybe do that to Sunny, then they would be faring pretty well in the fights. But it's going to be difficult again. I feel like I've been saying that this whole time. But we're only 27 minutes in. Dragon come up in a minute's time. And Mouse, they have some big items completed. The Trinity Force, okay, it has been done for a while. It has been done before that last fight.
Well before, yeah.
And Zio has his Zonias now completed, but Dose has his Locket. So I've seen some pretty big items coming from both teams.
It all comes down to a lot of things kind of regarding the Mousesports engage. We saw the problem that they were encountering where kind of, you know, I mean, you said the right things that, you know, Mouse do have a heavy engage, but you also have to look at the other side of things. PKD, they have that Nautilus who just seems to do so much AoE damage with his... excuse me, Nunu was what I was trying to say. We saw him before flash in and with the team fight for his ultimate to get the maximum coverage with that, combined with a Cassiopeia, then a Mega Death Rocket, then you throw Chum the Waters in. There's a whole lot of AoE damage, especially considering that they are as ahead as they are. Either way, 27 minutes into this one, and the 4th Drake potentially for PKD would be massive. Mousesports yet to pick up one, as a perfect Chompers is going to completely lock out the Mousesports side. And they're just looking to rush this dragon down. I think they're going to be able to pick it up here before they even get there. Yep, perfect Chompers. Real credit where it is due. We are going to be seeing Flashes trying to go solo up against Zio, though, but he's backing away because here comes the backup. It's a speedy horse trying to pursue Flaxish, and instead he's going to have to turn around, and Flaxish lives with his life as a 4th dragon is picked up. That's insane. 4 dragons. They've just got the 15% damage to minions and monsters, but here comes the fight. Yeah, they're going to be trying to do something. The Nautilus ultimate does come in, but here comes Cass in response. Zio locked up, turn to stone as Obvious starts with a bang, as does the Mega Death Rocket. It's thrown in as Obvious's ultimate is their response. There's just a flurry of spells, and in the end, looks like it's going to be a back and forth. 2 kills apiece so far. Looking for a third potentially. Flaxish is pretty low, but he has Yolopa to back him up, as Obvious is going so very low. Mountain to respond. He's just trying to do his best as best he can. Is it going to be a great pull from him? That's Zio now in trouble. They're just picking up kills left, right, and center. Mountain's the last. It's going to be an ace. And all of that off the back of this tanky, now 8-for-1 Fizz.
He just stayed alive long enough in the fight, and they had some great plays. They got Snow, they got Sunny, but they didn't have enough damage lasting long enough to kill Flaxish. And if they could have just finished him off, that would have been an ace for him. You saw Zio trying to stick around, trying to go head-to-head against him. Zio had his Zonias popped really early on in this area when Dragon was still being done. If he had that up right there, that should have been enough for him to stay alive and actually pick up this kill on the Flax. But they need just a little bit of penetration. The Void stuff coming in for Zio, I would assume, relatively soon. Oh, Cedrian. Oh, wow. Dodges completely away from that.
Well, that was more Flaxish missing it, I think, than dodging. But he's going to back away. It was kind of maybe a bit too much than he can chew, considering his mana pool. He saw him throw out the ult. He had nothing to follow up that ultimate. Either way.
I'm waiting to see Cass, actually. Cass and Nunu's 2-man Baron. Because Cass is ridiculously fast at doing Baron, just like Karthus. Oh, wow. Are they really looking for an engagement already? They know Flaxish is back at base, but he has teleport up.
Quick Chompers as well from Sunny just to lock down that engage completely. Locked the 2 frontline members down. Obvious and Mountain just stood still, twiddling their thumbs, waiting for the stun to wear out. And PKD seem to be in full control of this game.
Zio just needs, wrong button, a little bit more gold. 100 gold, and have his Void Stop done. And when it comes to these fights, he's going to be putting out so much more damage, especially against Flaxish, who has the Abyss Scepter now done. And Zio just gets, like, if he finishes up his Void Staff and, like, gets an ESL draw, he's going to almost be unkillable.
Yeah, I mean, that's what kind of the state that Vlad can get into. He's got his Zonias and his Will of Ancients. He is going to kind of be on the way to that very said item. And
the problem is that Flaxish keeps getting just as fed as he is. Like, he keeps getting a good amount of farm. Like, every time these fights happen, they both have escalated, like, the same amount. And now Flaxish is just kind of split pushing by himself towards bottom, and they have to send more than one person to deal with them. No one can 1v1 him anymore.
Yeah, and PKD are going to kind of follow his lead this time. And we kind of, I said before, the questionable double pickup of that Fizz. We hadn't seen good things from it in the first game, and he's just said, okay, let's try again. Rinse and repeat with a better kind of team comp around it, and it's working so very well. And you start to understand why he had so much confidence in it when he first picked it up. The build, for those of you out at home who can't quite see and squinting at the screen, we have that Abyssal Scepter now picked up. It seems something he was kind of hungry for and managed to pick up late in the last game. Abyssal, Frozen Heart, the Cinder Hulk enhancement, and the Sheen now picked up. They're potentially going to be building into a Lich Bane eventually, but I think there's no rush for that one. I wouldn't be surprised even if he wants to keep going down that tanky route into like an Iceborne or something, like you were saying before.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one's going to go for. I want to say it's going to be Lich Bane because he has the Amp Tune. We'll see. We'll see. No hurry. 32 minutes in. Mousesports just trying to hold on. And Zio, you can just see how much he heals. Like 200-300 every Q he does. 100 something every time he E's. It's just ridiculous his sustain when it comes to these fights. And his Void Staff's now done. This is where things get a little bit dangerous for PKD. But Snow has his Rylez completed. Like, he's extra tanky. And Zio might just got caught out.
Flaxis just, he's so, I mean, when you get to this point in Fizz, you can just go in and out fearlessly almost. Level 17 as well. He's got a huge level advantage. Compare that to Cedric, the AD carry. He's level 14. And, I mean, this could very well be one of, if not the last fight, if this goes to plan for PKD. Mouse have got a lot to answer for. And I'm pretty sure they're just going to delay until that dragon comes up. Potentially the 5th dragon for PKD and the 1st for Mousesports if they pick this up.
I don't think Flaxis has been... Oh, no. He hasn't been spotted. Oh, no, I think they keep seeing him just a glimpse for some reason. But this is going to cost... Actually, Cedric, he's got flash, he's got heal. But he's going to need a lot to do to get away from this.
He's waiting for the shield for the chum. Oh, he shielded it.
All right, he got away. So that's a big ultimate now down. And he's still alive, most importantly. They're not going to have the ultimate for the fight, but Chum the Waters was one thing that's making him do so much. As a Super Gear Death Rock is blocked out by Zio. That's a nice placement out of him to make sure his AD carry can survive. But they will lose a turret. They'll pick up one as well in the top lane. Just a quick trade, but 20-9, 33 minutes in. Dragon number 5, 30 seconds away. And you already mentioned how powerful it can be for PKD. And that means Mousesports, they have to contest it. They have to fight for this.
And if they don't, they're just going to have to go into complete defensive mode and just completely forget about anything else other than defending, which is just going to put more power in the hands of PKD. Of course, aspect of the dragon, that 5th stack of the dragon buffs doubles every other bonus. So we're talking 12% AD and AP, we're talking 10% movement speed, we're talking 30% damage to minions and turrets. That's a huge advantage. And I mean, PKD, if they were to pick that up, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a couple of inhibitors starting to fall. So this is a do-or-die moment, and it's going to be coming in fast. That's an easy one. Here comes the burn, and you can see already Beansu is shot down to half health. Zio even lower. Flash from Snow in pursuit, but I think he may very well just get away with this. Heals from the minions. The poison is ticking away. It's a little too much, though, as he does go down. That's first now. The first body on a countdown. 40 seconds before we see Vladimir again. As PKD are going for their first inhibitor of the game.
I don't think there's much they can do. You see how quick these turrets drop. Flaxis going for Mountain. He's going to fall in just a quick second. The auto attacks are ridiculous coming out of Silent. That true damage just burning them down. Monsoon being used just to heal them, to keep them topped off as the turret will fall. Inhibitor should fall shortly after, but they're taking a lot of damage as they push in for this. So yeah, they'll get the inhibitor, but I don't think they're going to get much more off of that. Even with just Beansu and obviously the 2 men to defend. And now Baron most certainly should be done by PKD.
Strong performance.
Nothing else can do to stop that Baron either.
It's mad. 5 stacks of Dragon Baron. It feels like an also familiar scenario we actually saw Mousesports in just 1 game ago. Flax is just such a lurker. He just sticks around, kind of sticking to the enemy side of the map. He wants to take every advantage he can, and Beansu's going to make his whereabouts known. Is Flax hungry for it? He is. He's going to go for it. Beansu has kind of stepped to the wrong part of the woods, and he's going to be in trouble as once again Hecarim does fall, and Flax just hops away to victory. As now that's the 10th kill on the board for the Smite top laner.
Would not be surprised to see Flax just get Fizz banned away in game number 3 if we do hit it.
Oh yeah.
Hitting that 36 mark. Gragas has ultimate. Obvious could potentially steal us away. It's not something that's not impossible. That makes no sense.
That doesn't.
It is possible for him, but if he gets pushed out like this, which he will die to the burning, well, that might have just that's going to be the game. I'm assuming Mousesports won't be able to defend against this anymore. Fox is able to take down Mountain. The last man alive is Cedric. With Superman's pushing the bottom lane. You have a Blood Boil. You have Jinx, who's already at 6-3 and 8. If Cedric could pull off a 1v5, I'd let you eat a hat.
You let me?
I don't think that's possible.
That's so kind, thank you. But yeah, 36 minutes into this one, and already I think Cedric realizes that this is not gone to plan. As things start to fall, that first Nexus turret is going to be under a lot of damage. BKD just got the Blood Boil ticking away as well. They just want to destroy these as fast as they can, end this game before the rest of the team do return. And Mousesports, I think they realize that it is all said and done. And PKD are taking it into a 3rd.
So 12-1 and 2 for Flaxish, 3-0-16 for Nunu, played by Dose. 6-3-8 for Sunny, and Snow finished off at 5-3 and 6. Just no one on the other side for Mousesports could really get going. You had 3 and 5 for Zio, you had 2 and 8 for Beansu, 2 and 5 for Obvious, and unfortunately Cedric was at 0 and 4. So maybe that Janna is definitely actually, you know what, the Janna wasn't even a huge thing. Mountain proved he can play, you know, other characters, but it was just that damn Fizz.
It was that damn fizz, and a big part of that was because of that huge amount of camp on Beansu early on. Like, they really just, they put a whole lot of their resources into shutting down that Hecarim
I feel like if he had anyone else besides Hecarim that had like a decent escape or tankiness, then that wouldn't have mattered. I mean, he would have died, and he would have been fine, and then Flaxus would never have gotten fed like that. But you kind of have to deal with the cards that you're handed. But guys, we're going to head to a quick little break here since we do have Game 3 coming up in just a few. And we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Hopefully we'll see you guys back then. And until then, get some food, get some drinks, relax, and we'll see you for the ESL Meisterschaft Spring 2015 League of Legends Spring Finals in just a bit.